spoken. We were in our pre-show, but we were having so much fun that we just decided to hit record. We have Sarah Wade from season 44 with us. Hi, Sarah.
Hello. So excited to be here.
I'm excited for all of us. Sarah shows up. She's in a denim shirt. I'm wearing a darker denim shirt, and Riley's like, I own a denim shirt. So I ran back and changed. Got into my similar color denim shirt as Sarah so that we're twins. Riley's like, doesn't twin out, but he has a darker denim shirt on, which is still like part of the Canadian tuxedo. Doesn't matter the hue of denim. But he came back with a t-shirt under his denim, which, dude, that's a style faux pas. So he ran back, popped his t-shirt out from underneath his denim, showing a little chest like you're supposed to do. And I've never seen him look this relaxed. It's like, honestly, like a different person almost. I'm like, this guy is so chill and relaxed and cool. And I think it's a great look for you, Riley.
Okay. All right. I'll keep it in mind.
Do
Riley,
you
are you
feel?
feeling more relaxed? Do you think you might say something crazy?
Yeah.
I
want
think
to
I
also know
feel
that.
completely normal, actually. I feel like it's just a shirt, really. But I'm happy we're all matching. You know,
Okay.
we have got the all denim pod.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is good because we're on video this season. So people
Yes.
can check this out on YouTube.
Yeah.
And see,
This is the moment.
It
for the
wouldn't
see all of
matter.
our great denim.
Yeah. It wouldn't matter otherwise. But this is, well, I mean, we always do the social breakouts, but because we're also on YouTube, now we're going to look extra cool.
Yeah.
Sarah, are you in a soundproof studio?
I'm in an office, just a breakout room at work.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Still
I mean, I
clocked
wish
in,
I was,
I
like,
assume?
Always clocked
That's
in
what I'm talking
24/7.
about. Yeah. I forgot to clock out again. Clock
Yeah.
in. I love it. Sarah, can you make fire without flint? Do you know how?
I know how.
Could you do it?
So I think that, like, in the perfect conditions, I could do it.
What are the perfect
Obviously,
conditions?
Well, just everything being dry.
I think
Yeah.
lighter fluid and like
And a
matches.
match.
You don't need flint at all. I've never found it essential.
Exactly. Give
Okay.
me one of those logs that you put in the fire that you just light the paper.
Yeah.
No. So I just think that being out there with, like, when everything's damp, it gets so much harder. But one thing that was crazy to me, this is really getting into it, but why would you not light your fire every day before, if you're leaving and you might lose your flint, light your fire and you come home and you still have fire.
Do they not put it
Yeah.
out? I always was under the suspicion that production puts it out while you're gone if you're going to lose your flint.
So as a team that lost our flint a few times,
Yes.
they did not put our fire. Like, it
Okay.
was, there weren't like flames,
There
but
were
you know, there's like
embers
little
to get it
embers
going.
that you could
Yeah.
use. Yeah. It wasn't like they dumped water on it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm fairly confident in my fire making abilities. I've made fire multiple times without flint on Survivor, in Fiji even. So and in the Philippines. I've done it both places. So what I'm going to do for everybody who's a future Survivor contestant is I will make a tutorial video on how to make fire without flint, without things, with only things from the island. And then we'll get everybody prepared because it just takes a couple small pieces of bamboo, some kindling, and a little muscle. And that's the hardest part, is the muscle part, because you do need a little bit of stamina or a little team of people around you to help create enough friction. But it's wild to me that we didn't even see Egg Tribe try to get fire.
The lack of it was just like, it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
it doesn't
there's
exist
no
in this
way.
world.
It's impossible. We shouldn't even try. It's stupid. Let's just. Are those eggs going to go bad, or are they going to be good for a few days?
How good are eggs for?
So
I think they're okay for a while.
They don't
leave
put
them
their
on the
eggs in
counter.
the fridge. Yeah, that's what I kept thinking.
I think that if they're all natural eggs that just poop out of the chicken and they give them to you right there, they're fine for days. But I think if they process them through the cleaning process that then we buy them at the grocery store, they supposedly, and I could be totally wrong, they take some layer of
they do.
antibacterial protection off of the shell.
Yeah, so if it's okay, I looked this up. If it's one of these
Dude,
unwashed
why am I so
eggs-
smart? Like, why am I so smart?
I don't know.
Because I've
You
lived
just
a long time and
probably-
watch a shit ton of TV.
TV is
Probably.
that's the key.
Probably.
It's 2 weeks. If you have the unwashed eggs, which they don't really sell so much in America, but probably in Fiji they do. So they've got 2 weeks to get that fire back. I think that the game is basically over in 2 weeks, so I think we'll get it.
Wow. Well, okay, so here's a question.
Mhm.
What do you think of that negotiation? Because they straight up admitted they had gotten one edible egg out of that chicken.
Jeff was
and
soft.
then Jeff was
blew
like,
it.
I'll
He
give
blew
you
it.
18.
So soft. He should have given them one less than what the other tribe got. So what did they get, 6 or 8?
6.
So they should have been like, I'll give you 5, and this is because you guys are morons.
Yeah, I thought that was a
One for each of
wild
you? Yeah.
negotiation.
18, you could get full. Everyone could get full off eggs for one meal.
Absolutely. Like you might
Yeah.
be too full.
Too full. Yeah. You wouldn't want eggs after that. You'd be like, you're only supposed to have like 2 maximum in a sitting, and I ate 3. I'm disgusted.
Exactly. Riley, how many eggs would you eat?
I mean, I'll eat as many in a Survivor setup.
No, like
I'm just
today.
gonna eat all of them.
Like if you
Yeah,
were like famished
in a
and I took you
city?
to Denny's and
Oh,
I'm
I was-
paying, but you can only
Does it-
have eggs.
Does it have to be Denny's? Can we go somewhere else?
Where do you want to go?
Oh,
Where do
what's
you
your
wanna
go to
breakfast of
a
choice?
real diner? I don't know. I'd probably have like 4, 5, 6 eggs. Like if I'm
Dude.
starving, why not? What are you talking about? You're gonna have 2 eggs and then be like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm set.
Yes.
Oh, come on,
Dude, that many eggs is egg overload grossness. Like,
it's a
eggs?
starving situation.
oh, you're not starving. You just didn't, let's say you missed dinner the night before and we went to
Oh.
a late breakfast and that's all you've had to eat in the last like 16 hours.
I'd probably go for like 3 eggs.
Okay.
Reasonable.
And we're just like, egg restaurant. And they're like, what do you have? And they're like, eggs, but you can have them any way you want them. What way would you get them?
I like over easy.
Mm,
So you
that,
could,
that
Though
perfect
maybe
one
not
flip.
if it's the only thing I'm eating. Then it's not that good because there's nothing to like soak up the yolk and
Would
stuff
you do
like
each
that.
of your eggs differently?
I might
for a
ooh,
different texture.
Yeah, new experience.
Interesting. I would do so if I'm only eating eggs and there's literally nothing else.
Yeah.
It's got to be either like scrambled or basically like hard boiled.
Yeah, scrambled.
They need to be like cooked basically.
I think scramble's the
So-
safest way, but I think on Survivor you got to hard boil them because then you're
I think there's no
guaranteed to
waste.
get the most. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree with that.
And hear me out. You might even want to eat the shells,
No.
crunch them up.
I
There's
think it kind
lots
be
of
like
minerals
a nice
in the
little
shells.
addition.
There's minerals in the shells.
So when I say I would have like 5 or 6 eggs,
Mhm.
that is weird and overboard. But when you say you're gonna crunch up the shells and eat those, that's okay.
I've never gotten eggs on Survivor. This new generation of Survivor is so soft. They give them eggs. They're just handing out eggs and chickens everywhere. I never had either of
Exactly.
those.
Yeah.
Just the sweet life out there.
You
Sarah's agreeing. Sarah, you're not supposed to agree with me. Your new era, you're supposed to be like, you old guys, you think you had it so hard, but you don't even know what 26 days is.
That's so true. You don't even know what 9 days is.
That's right. Actually, nope, you're right. My shortest stint was 15.
Right. But actually, I think we went out in the same order spot.
That definitely, probably multiple times. I think I was
Yeah, at least
8th out on Token Chains. I was 5th out on Heroes versus
Yeah,
Villains.
that's where we align.
5th, yeah.
Yeah. So, eggs. You got to do them hard boiled.
Okay, so after you make your tutorial on how to start fire,
Yeah.
also hard boil an egg and eat it shell and all.
Okay.
And see how that
Wait, no,
goes.
I think you like crumble the shell.
You
though.
have to
like, or you
crunch
could
it up.
However
bite
you
it.
want to do it. You
Like,
don't have
you
to
want
just
apple
bite
style?
No, I'm crunching it and I'm drinking it down like vitamins
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
because I'm not chewing it. I don't want to damage my teeth. So Listen, guys, this is important. This is important. But my tortoise eats eggshells because they like crave minerals and stuff. So I'm assuming there's like calcium and like nutrients in the shell. Did you Google if there's nutrients in an eggshell?
I did not Google. We have some worms that we use to like make compost, and we feed them eggshells.
Yes. So there's got to be nutrients in there.
Everyone's eating eggshells.
Yeah, we should be eating eggshells.
And hopefully Sam and Sierra are next week.
They won't. They won't think of that. Sam, doesn't even trust watermelon.
Sam does not eat a single fruit or vegetable.
Yeah.
So eggshells are certainly out of the cards.
Yeah.
Apparently, an eggshell is 95% calcium.
That's what I'm saying. Very good for you.
Incredible.
Yeah. We should all be eating eggshells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much of that does your body absorb?
I have no idea. Please try it first and report back.
This is the YouTube. We're growing a YouTube presence now.
Yeah.
The fountain of youth, dude. We've discovered the new fountain of youth. One thing that influencer does that doctors don't want you to know about is the headline. And it's like eating eggshells. Who would have thunk? So now that we got that out of the way, I did actually have to text Matt Van Wagenen and be like, do you guys not allow them to try to make fire without flint anymore? And he was like, no, they just aren't even trying to make fire. And I was like, okay, well, I guess do what you got to do. Opening of the episode, is Genevieve in a good position after voting out Keyshawn?
Oh, I'm loving what she did.
Yeah.
I think she played that right with everybody.
Okay.
Right?
I mean,
she's
let's
in
hear it.
with Rome.
Yep.
So Rome, obviously, she saved his life.
Yes.
So they should be in a good spot.
Yep.
Then we have Teeny comes back, feels closest to Genevieve. Genevieve immediately smooths it over, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
And then Wisely, I think, is there for the Teeny Rome, repair of their relationship.
Yes.
Because, she wasn't going to let Rome throw her under the bus on that, made sure she was monitoring. And then Saul, I mean, I don't have a full read on the Saul situation, but it seems like she's at a minimum good with him because she brought him in and saved. I don't know. The Saul relationship, I don't know who Saul feels closest to. I don't have a read on that. Do you?
Saul? I don't know. Probably Teeny, I guess. I don't know.
I was thinking it was Genevieve, maybe.
Could be Genevieve.
Because he didn't tell Teeny, obviously, about the plan to blindside Keyshawn.
Yeah, he didn't. So, I mean, and maybe that was just, it's weird.
Saul is, I feel like, the classic contestant that's like, just get me to the merge so I can ditch these people that I hate and make some new friends.
Is he going to, because he reminds me a bit of a finalist who doesn't get any votes because they don't have a loyalty to anybody. So everybody on the jury is like, nobody, everybody kind of feels burned by him, but also like, we tried to work with you. And then they get to the end and he's like, I didn't have anybody. I did it all on my own. It's like,
people are like, you didn't do anything.
We tried to have you and you wouldn't. Like, I don't know. I like it. I like him. I think it's super fun, but I think he has to get a group at some point, and I don't know when that is. And we'll see if it's him, if he's the problem. It could be, or maybe everyone else around him is the problem. But we'll find out at the merge because he's making it to the merge.
Yeah, one like Red Tribe. Do they just explode at the merge? Like maybe Teeny and Genevieve stay together, but besides that, I think it's kind of an explosion. But it could be like a crazy, they're so chaotic and somehow seem like a mess and stay together.
Yeah. I also thought that. I was like, that could happen because we hear a lot about that later in the episode. Let's get to the brand new twist. As soon as Jeff announced a brand new twist, I was like, I bet this isn't a brand new twist. But guess what? It kind of was a brand new twist. Definitely for the new era. Right? Yeah. I think it was new. I was like, he's just reinventing something that was invented, that he invented himself 10 years ago. But no, brand new. Do you like this twist? At the challenge, everyone thinks that they're coming together to two tribes, but they just are intermingling to compete and then go to the sanctuary together.
I liked what was going on. I think it's fun to get a little more overlap, and especially like it seems like there's been a good setup of like tribe gossips moving around, that to get more characters into the inner tribe gossip obviously stirred up some fun stuff, as I'm sure Jeff was very happy that it did. Um, so I was digging that. Also, Teeny being alone set her up to obviously lie a ton. I thought it was a good little drama stirring event. Although, honestly, listening to them eat those hot dogs, I was like, give them some ketchup just so people aren't like,
Yeah. Did you notice? I noticed that too. I was like, do all these younger, new era kids just chew with their mouths open all the time?
I think it was just so dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
It's
what
like a
I'm
dog
hoping.
eating peanut butter.
You've never seen,
Exactly.
soak the bun in water first, like the hot dog eating championships.
That's how you want to
Absolutely.
savor your like first real food in 9-10 days.
It sounds like they only got one hot dog each. And if that's the case, you do need to savor it. But if it's unlimited hot dogs,
It was only one. It was only one.
Yeah. I will swallow a hot dog whole if they're unlimited.
Okay. So, but
Add that to
but
your
3
YouTube.
eggs is too many.
Yeah.
But as many hot dogs as you can eat.
Yes. Yes. On Survivor, I'm trying to eat as many hot eggs as possible too, if there's an opportunity. But if there's other
That's
things,
what I was saying. That's what I was saying. As
but I
many
don't
eggs
think
on
I could
Survivor.
eat that many. I think I could maybe get away with like,
Yeah.
hard boiled. I could maybe do 3 or 4 max before I'm like, I got to get that egg taste out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I think I could eat more hot dogs than eggs.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Riley?
Naked hot dogs without a bun. I could eat way more hot dogs than eggs.
I think so. I mean, the hot dogs are like more. They're larger.
They're more
than
different
egg.
animals.
Just
Yeah.
the eggs just get so gross after a few
Yes.
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
Wait, I have a question about the
Okay.
hot dogs.
I don't know what they're
When-
made of.
What goes into a hot dog? Riley, Google it. No, when they show
Oh,
up,
thanks.
there's the tray of hot dogs, and Kyle's looking at it, and then there's the other tray with the veggie dog.
Yeah.
When you saw the veggie dog, did you think it was a scroll?
I did not.
Okay.
I didn't. I
It
could
could
have.
have been
Yeah.
an eyesight thing, but I was like,
It was
It was-
quick. I'm taking
Yeah.
notes as
Right
I'm
there.
watching the whole thing, so I sometimes miss some of the visuals, which is sad. I should rewatch, but I mean, that's 3 hours of Survivor. That's a lot in a day.
yeah.
But that easily could be the veggie dog, though. I thought like hilarious if someone else there, not a vegan, is like, I'm actually a vegan too, but there's only one dog. Like what? And then you have to like argue about it or like split it in half and then also eat another dog. Just be like, I just may as well. And then leave. Like on the challenge, the food they gave us was so gross and the vegan food was less gross. So I started taking vegan meals and then they'd always have one extra vegan meal and I would take it. And then more people were wanting them. So the non-vegans were eating the vegan meals before the vegans could get to them. And then it caused a whole thing of chaos where people were like, you ate my meal. I was like, no, I waited and then I got the last one, but I thought everybody, like it was just a whole thing. So I think if you could somehow create that chaos on Survivor with someone who's morally opposed to eating something, it's just too beautiful to not fuck with.
Wait, how about the chickens that they just did? Like, there wasn't even really a fight, at least that we saw, of not eating the chickens.
Yeah. Sam wanted to, but everybody else
Right.
was just like, nah. And
Yeah.
we talked about it last week. It's just like, yeah, if anybody's opposed to just like murdering a chicken, then you just can't. Like it's I don't know. It seems insensitive. Like if you're like, I can't handle it, then it's like, too bad for you. We're doing it. Like we've seen that play out and those guys are villains. They just end up
For
being the
sure.
villains. So yeah, I think you're just in a tough spot where you need the entire group to lead together in that moment, to murder together, have the blood on their hands, each and every one of them, before they scarf that chicken down, the delicious chicken down.
So in the future, when they have the chicken reward challenge,
Mhm.
are they going to just Probst will offer up, you can do 3 chickens or 18 eggs or some combination of like 6 eggs to a chicken.
I mean, they should, because the chickens are like the big fishing kit. It's like the big fishing kit isn't going to get you any more fish than the small fishing kit. So it's just like, who cares? Give us the small one and something else. Like, I think that the chickens, when you get them, there's part of you that's like, if everyone wants to eat them, they're delicious once. But if somebody doesn't want to eat them, they're a big waste of our time and energy, and they're noisy.
Yeah.
So that's my take. What about you, Sarah? What do you think?
I think they should keep giving them chickens. Like, this egg negotiation was a fraud.
Yeah.
And I think they need to like make the tough call, which I agree is a tough call, to eat the chicken, or like hilariously learn how to properly breed like them for eggs.
Well, they're not breeding them. The females will lay the eggs
opposite
without.
Of breeding.
Yes.
Yes.
Unless you want to make balut, then you have to get the egg fertilized and then let it mature for 18 days or something. But they don't have that.
So at that point,
you're playing the long game at
that point. Yeah. What about this, Sarah? You're a chicken murderer, no problem. Mm-hmm. You can't do that in front of other people. They don't like it. Go out at night.
Do you secretly kill a chicken?
Yes.
I'm open to it.
Okay. Do you find the chicken killers all together? You go start a fire with your hands in the middle of the night, dude. It's not that hard.
And even if you have a fire going at that point, you don't even need to start it fresh. You just need to bring it with you.
Yes.
The other thing that this is like, Jeff's like red bomb of paint. This is like a literal like caught with blood on your hands.
You come back with like grease dripping down and like feathers and stuff. Like, I don't know what happened. One of the chickens
in a coma, like a post Super Bowl coma where you're just like, whoa, I ate all the chickens and the chicken bones, like picking meat out of your teeth with chicken bones. That's what you do out there, probably. I mean, we're getting way ahead of ourselves, but like, come on, eat the chickens. Jeff, be hard on them if they don't. Make them figure out something. I don't know. He should have just been like, oh, it sounds like you're having a hard time getting eggs. We'll give you one more chicken. Mm-hmm. And then make it something like that.
It's like a growing chicken problem.
Yes. A growing chicken problem.
Like 12 chickens.
Yeah. And they can't still get the eggs, and they're still fighting about whether they should murder them. And now there's 12 of them, so there's plenty of them to murder 2 a day for a week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like that more.
And I say murder comically. Like, if you're eating chickens at home, that's fine. I eat chickens too. So I just want to get that out of the way.
Good.
Riley
Address
doesn't
those
eat.
Fears.
Yeah. Riley doesn't eat chickens. His favorite meat is hot dog.
Yeah, we don't. It
and
just comes straight from the hot dog.
Over easy eggs.
Yes. Yeah. I liked the twist, and I liked it because we're getting the journey all the time, and it's putting a target on people's backs a little bit to go and intermingle. So now you got all these other opportunities and more people intermingling, and it kind of takes that threat level of actually going on a journey down a few notches, which you don't always have the choice of if you're the one that goes on the journey. So I like that this is in place now for people to be like, okay, other people are talking to everybody, and now it's like, we're not targeting somebody specifically because we think that they might have some information because of the journey or an existing relationship or something. So I did like that.
So who do you think played the Survivor Social Hour best?
Oh man, the Survivor Social Hour was, I mean, not Tiana. Not Tiana. She played it the worst. The second, like, I don't even know that she even contemplated the repercussions of what she did in front of 2 other tribe mates there, or were they all there? It was Sue was there.
It was 4 of them.
They were they were all there except for
Gabe. And she just was like you have to assume that everybody is so locked into you personally for her to do that and feel fine about it, or just like not care. And
Well,
she,
and everyone
yeah,
that wasn't on their tribe. Like, you might think, even if you think you have your whole tribe so locked in, that everyone else at the merge, if they get there and say hi to Gabe, and that's not super valuable information to be like, hey, your tribe member told us all this stuff about you.
yes, yeah. He was definitely pissed. Tiana was wrong. Sue, everybody's face should have told her immediately that she should stop talking, and she didn't. I
Well, then
think
I feel like
Teeny getting there
Yeah.
by herself was probably the best case scenario, and her being kind of on the outs and kind of near the bottom also like played to her favor a little bit, because she can be like, I feel like I'm kind of on the bottom, but who knows? Which then everybody comes to her at the merge. Hey, you're on the bottom. You want to make a move? We're doing this. Like, that opens it up. She's not telling a lie. I think she was just best positioned on her tribe to end up there individually and have it be okay.
And she gave like
Right.
some truth too, being like, okay, like I was on the bottom and everybody voted Keyshawn, but then she like doesn't share the knowledge about the steal vote,
Yeah.
and goes back and tells Rome that, and is like, hey, here's the story. Like we all voted, but we didn't do the steal vote. So I think it like earns her a little bit of trust with Rome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also, like, for her tribe, it's like she was on the bottom. She was the one person that didn't know. So you can't be so mad at her for going and like telling that story.
Right. Exactly. You're like, well, what else was she supposed to do? She feels uneasy. I also liked when Sue just straight up asked Sam if him and Sierra were running things over.
Yeah, it's a bad move from Sue.
Bad move from Sue,
like
but hilarious, because it plays out later in the episode again. Like, Sam and Sierra, do they love each other?
No.
I think.
Yes.
I don't think Sierra loves Sam.
Okay.
And I think Sam, it sounds like he's engaged, probably in a very happy relationship.
Sure.
I don't doubt that.
Yes.
But what I think is that a young man that Sam has a little baby, never going to act on it, but like a little bit of a crush on Sierra. Okay. She's like this universe. Like, how do you, like, there's just a natural draw to someone like that.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think there's something there, some type of crushy, like a little, I mean, it's too early for love. And they are also have significant others at home and realize that they're just playing a game of Survivor. But yeah, I could see that. And the fact that they react so negatively to it every time someone says it also is major sus. Like, come on. If it's nothing, then just be like, that's so silly. But the fact that they're just like, can you believe that everyone thinks that we're so in love with each other? Like, we have to squash that out because we don't love each other, right? Like, right?
Right.
Right? We're not in love, right? And they're both like,
well,
yeah, that's so silly.
I don't even like talk to you very much at all. And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, so why are they each other's number ones? Like, first off, they're like, oh, we don't even talk that much. But then every time,
and then they're not aligned.
Every time we hear from them, they're like, well, like Sam's like, oh, well, Sierra's my number one. Sierra's like, Sam's my number one. And it's like, so clearly you guys talk a lot, and everybody has picked up on it because everyone thinks you're in love. So this is not going under the radar. But two, like, you're not aligned ever on who to target. You're not aligned on like, what is going on. You're big, like with the chickens, and you're bickering about everything. It's like, why are you guys each other number ones? Why aren't you just like breaking up here? Like, nobody, nobody's married here. There's not like, how have they progressed to the old couple stage already? And like, why do they even trust each other?
That's what I don't know. It's like, and especially like, oh, they're together. Everyone's saying they're together. I think you have to strike first in that twosome and be like, no, we're not. Look, I just proved it. And then you're free again. And I think that like you have to do that. Like,
I was wondering if on this episode, if like,
I thought it was going to be Sam.
Yeah, if one of them was going to be like, you know what, the best thing for my game is just get rid of this other person. Like, I don't care that they're my number one. Like, come on.
Exactly what it was setting up for. And often, I think, in like the accused couple duos, especially pre-merge, the girls who get screwed over because they need the strength of the guy. So I was surprised especially if Sierra had the girls. I think if Annika didn't have her vote or did have her vote,
She
that
could have got
Sierra
flipped.
might have more realistically weighed that. But as it stood, I don't think she really had the opportunity to get rid of him.
Yeah. I felt like they showed Sam losing his cool a couple times, which he does he likes to. He did it in the challenge. He did it back at camp. And I was like, oh, they're just setting us up to see him go home because he's not our hero now. He's, chirped at people that have like, the puzzle pieces are upside down and sideways. I can't really see them. And it's like, okay, turn them the other way.
Also,
then.
I don't know if he's the puzzle king of the team.
Yeah, I think he's the king of the team.
Agreed.
But the puzzle team, I don't know. Yeah, I thought
On Yellow Tribe now.
Yes.
Who do you think is in a better position, Sam or Sierra?
Well, I mean, I feel like Andy is more locked in with Sam.
Yeah.
And so I think that now Sam is probably in a better position.
Rachel's going to feel betrayed by Sierra.
As well. Yeah.
So I kind of feel like Sierra is sort of like, I guess Sierra has Sam locked in for unclear reasons. But if Sam kind of realizes that actually Sierra is not best for his game, then
yeah. And I think that not unclear reasons. Miss Universe, come on.
Right. He's in love with her. Yeah, that's the reason. Sam is literally married. He got married after the show, by the way. I went and peeked on his Instagram.
It's crazy
Not
that
to
he would
Sierra, to somebody else.
It's crazy that he would go through such lengths to prove to us that he's not in love.
I know.
With Sierra.
He's all in on the lie.
Sarah, would you marry someone just to prove to the world that you're not in love with someone else?
You gotta commit to the lie. Absolutely.
We're just kidding, Sam. We love you, and this podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and we all think
jokes
you're in love.
Only.
Yeah, unless you're eating eggshells, which we think everyone should try.
We should try. Everyone should try. I will do that, but I'm probably going to crunch them, choke them down, and then my hair will probably be shinier than it's ever been. Fingernails are going to grow
that. You're going to be.
I have a good head of hair anyways, but I like hats, and they kind of hide my wrinkles on my forehead if I wear them low enough.
Which you won't have any of after
That's true. Everything will dissipate. Yes. The Fountain of Youth. One Mesa man discovers the Fountain of Youth that doctors don't want you to know about. Click here. Let's see. Where were we? We past the sanctuary. Rome we have to go to Lavo here. Rome is having the worst day so far, worst survivor day so far. He's so sad. And he decides that he should panic right now.
Yeah.
So Rome, at first I was like, this might be reasonable. You probably can relate to this way more. But a day when you have nothing on the schedule and you are actually just sitting there.
Yeah, it's brutal.
You have a lot of time to think. But that wasn't that day because they had a challenge that morning.
Yeah.
And he should be coming off of this good, got out of this bad moment, got rid of his biggest adversary. And then he still decides to absolutely spiral.
Yeah.
So I think it was just an honest freak out and probably hadn't come down from the high of the night before and couldn't get himself together and then just started to get messier than where he already was.
Yeah. I really liked it. It's so messy with Saul and Genevieve immediately cross-examining him, or cross-examining each other to figure out that Rome is the problem.
Okay, the other thing with this tribe is they all seem to have every conversation sitting on the beach in the same spot. So I'm like, are you all just and it's a public spot.
Taking turns?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm like, everyone has to see all of these things going down.
Even when Saul was like, Rome, want to go talk, Genevieve was just sitting right there with them when he was like, Rome, let's go talk together.
Yes.
See ya, Genevieve.
Insane.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
that's not like a normal thing. Like sometimes you need to just talk
You
to.
do sometimes, but if you have
Is it?
any,
It's more normal when there's like a tribal council coming up. I'm guessing.
no, it's more normal if we are collective. If there's someone collective in that threesome, that's a twosome. That's like, I'm gonna go talk to them. Just
Hmm.
let us have our thing. Here's what I'm gonna tell them, and then do it. If it's a full setup, then it's fine. But if it's not a setup and you're doing that, like you can't do that. Like you're excluding somebody. Like Genevieve immediately has to be like, what are they talking about that they couldn't talk about in front of me? It must be something about me.
Me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like that's like Survivor. That's very, very basic Survivor. Do not exclude people.
Right.
Very,
And just like
yeah.
when there's 3 of them, right? There's like 3 of them total
Yes,
at camp.
just 3 sad kids at camp, and they decide to make the afternoon a lot more difficult than it had to be, and it's so funny. Like I love it. I love the moment I liked actually was Saul just being like, I don't know anything. I have been in sales my entire life, and I am
Yeah.
getting a huge piece of humble pie. I knew none of this. Like Rome tells him about Teeny's amulet and about uh, uh, Genevieve not wanting to work with Saul long term and all of that stuff. But I think that if you're going to come back from where Saul is, you do need to admit or accept that you had to eat a bunch of humble pie at some point. So
Mhm.
could this be Saul's like turning around moment where he recognizes he doesn't know and either is going to get in the know or continue to not know? Like, which one is it for him?
Right. I think he could be going on a better path. I think he's getting kind of like a complex, like he's like had this moment of realization. He was at the bottom. Now he's like kind of in with both of them. Suddenly see the middle. Like this could be that big moment for him. And I mean, like you saw when Annika got voted out, she was like, I had no idea. And I think realizing how much you don't know before you're voted out is a really good moment to
Yeah,
have.
it's an eye opener to be like,
Yeah.
shoot, I don't know what's going on. I better figure out
Mhm.
how to find out what's going on and be the
Right.
person that knows what's going on in the future.
I think it's also like a good moment to realize, like, because someone looked at you in the eyeballs and like felt like they meant it, and like all those signs aren't enough.
Yeah.
Like, everyone can lie like that on Survivor. So it's like figuring out what are those additional points of proof that you need to feel confident that someone's truth is the truth.
Right. Yeah. You have to hear what someone's saying, listen to them, and then go to whoever they're talking about. And even if you don't have to confront them and throw people under the bus, but you can ask questions uh, to figure out what the truth is. And it's a lot. And you can't always if everyone's in on the lie but you, then you're just out. Like, sorry, until somebody slips up. But Sue's lied
Okay, I
about
have
her
a
age,
thought
we
on
know.
this.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, I don't get so the Sue age thing. I don't understand lying. I don't think I don't know. I don't think it's like
Well,
more or less compelling either way.
I don't either, but I posted a story I posted something about my kids guessing Sue's age. And then most of the comments were just like, yeah, I can't believe she lied. Why would she lie about that? But then I got a couple people that were like, it's misogynist to judge a woman by her age and stuff. And I was like, but she's the one that said she was 45 and isn't. They're like, it's
Mm.
men can lie about their height and nobody says anything. And I was like,
I feel like everyone's saying something if a guy's lying about his height.
oh, I say something immediately because I know how tall I am. And if somebody's like, you're tall, and I'm like, no, you're not, because I'm my tall and I'm 3 inches taller than you. Like,
Amen.
yeah, I say that. And also, like, if you're going to lie about your age, then I think it's okay to call people out on that. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was a funny stance when they were like, oh, so you don't believe a girl when she says her age, but you, and I was like, I don't believe her because she lied about it by 15 years.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And like she immediately said it was
And
a
she
lie. Like
immediately
you weren't like
admitted that it was a
accusing her of lying.
No, no. So yeah, I thought, so men's height, I was just like, yeah, I mean, Riley probably lies about his height all the time.
All the time.
Riley, how tall
People
are
are
you?
always asking. I'm 5'10".
5'10".
Yeah,
See,
and
that's
I'm
good.
7'2".
The thing is, are you
What?
not 5'10"?
No. I am 5'10". Wait, hold on.
5'9"
What do you mean
and like
7'2"?
5'9" and like 3/4.
Okay, maybe I'm off by a quarter of an inch. If I'm off by a quarter of
we
an inch,
caught
I
him in
don't
his
care.
lies,
No.
Sarah.
The truth comes out.
Oh my God, dude. I can't believe
What are you
that
talking about?
you-
Tyson, how tall are you?
6'2" and 3/4.
Okay. I don't have it down to 3/4.
I
So
used to round up.
I'm
Yeah.
5'8" and 1/4.
Is that what you say to people?
Yeah.
To
You
the
got it.
quarter inch?
Full transparency. Yeah.
Yeah. I am not a
Because-
quarter inch guy. I'm a round to the nearest.
Okay.
But I rounded to the nearest, and Danny McRae made fun of me because he's like, "You're not full 6'3". I was like, "I'm like 6'2" and 3/4". He's like, "Yeah, that's what you got to say." And I was like, "I know. I round to the nearest inch. You round
I do think like
quarter
you're
inch?
tall enough
Uh-huh.
that you don't need to be getting into those details. Like at that point, it's like, okay, chill out. You're already tall.
Yeah.
Where I think
But
the
for Riley-
accuracy matters more.
For Riley, the
is
shorter
when
you
you're
are,
in
the larger
Riley's range.
fraction it is of your
it's a
actual
larger
height.
portion of your height.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
the
Riley.
quarter of an inch.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The like
Yeah.
0.2% of my height that would be. Come on.
Yeah, and it's only 0.1% of mine, so that's where it's matters.
I
dude.
literally don't know. I literally don't know if it's like 5'9.5" or 5'9 3/4" or
That's the
5'10 and a
problem.
quarter
That's the
or whatever.
problem.
I know it's
So,
around
so
5'10".
suddenly now he might be like 5'9" flat.
Yeah, or he could be 5'11",
Well, I don't know. I think
I
if he was,
don't
you
think
would
I'm
know.
5'11".
but he went over 5'10" in one of his examples there.
Oh.
You know, you change
So
height a little bit
Riley.
throughout the day. Like in the morning, you're a little taller than
That's
you
something
are
a short
in the
person
evening.
would say.
Yeah.
No, it's literally
Are
true.
you also like hanging yourself by your feet to try to like stretch?
Just like every
longer?
day, just like hanging
Yeah,
from the
you'll
pull-up
get
bar.
taller if you do that. Like a little bit. Like if you did that and then
Then you
and
might be a
then
true
measured.
5'10".
maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
So if
Maybe
you
I'd
lay
be
down for
5'11".
24
Maybe it'd be
hours
5'11".
straight, you'll be 5'11".
Maybe.
Or you have to be on one of those spinal pulling machines.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder like what your max could be. A man that's 5'9" and 3/4" on a normal day.
Could
If we
after
like really stretched.
after some spinal stretching. How tall do
Yeah.
you think you could get to, Riley?
It's probably only like an inch or so that you can gain. Come on.
A whole inch? You think I could get almost up to 6'4" if I
If you,
got some
like,
spinal
just-
stretches?
Yeah, if you were like, held by your ankles, like lying upside down for an hour or something, I
I'd
think it
pass out and
stretches your
die
spine.
from all the blood running to my head.
No, you wouldn't pass out and die. You'd be fine. You'd get lightheaded.
From hanging
maybe.
upside
Okay,
down for an
What about
hour?
a
You'd pass
challenge
out
where you
and
just hung
Die
upside
from
down?
hanging upside down for an hour.
Probably.
Wait,
No.
if they ran that challenge, do you think it would just be like a race to see who like lasts longest without passing out?
It's whoever can grow an inch the quickest. So they have you hanging and then they have a measuring inch thing underneath that then once you hit that line, you win.
This is
Riley?
ridiculous.
I think you do well.
You think you'd win this, Riley?
I'm going to look up how long you can hang upside down. My Google searches are completely ridiculous today.
Yeah. Dude, have you ever gotten on one of those things that hangs you upside down for your spinal adjustment stuff? I literally can't let all the blood rush to my head for longer than a few seconds before I'm like, get me out of this. My head's going to pop and I'm going to pass out.
I do hate that feeling. Like, you know
Yeah.
how I'm guessing your kids will like hang upside down at the park, like off the monkey bars and
they'll
stuff?
have me holding them upside down by the feet.
Right.
They love it.
Oh, I don't know what happens, but I agree that now, like, if I try to do that, I'm totally not okay.
Yeah.
Riley, what are we learning?
Passing out and dying. He knows I'm right. Look at the face.
There's no good source here, but Quora.com said that once left in the inverted position, death is said to occur in 8 to 10 hours. Said to
There
occur.
you go.
We have no idea.
And they just take 0.2 off of that, and
I
that's
said an hour.
Yeah.
0.2 off of 8 to 10 hours?
I'm just lying about how with the height measurement and everything. Just giving you a hard, just razzing you, Riley. But yeah, death will occur.
Okay. So if you're going to try to extend your height, you got to be very careful about it.
7:59. Set your alarm for 7 hours and 59 minutes.
Yeah.
That'll be the max.
Yeah.
That you can go to.
And be safe, because death occurs from 8 to 10 hours.
You're gonna like your face is gonna be like purple from all the blood. That's like your eyes are popping out. It's gonna be there probably are some side effects before. It's not just like death occurs.
All of the veins in your eyeballs rupture, so your eyes are just like bloodshot. Swollen.
You know, that's also pro tip. If you need to like get out of work with a sick day,
hang upside down for 7 hours and 59.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. When Riley shows up with pink eye next week, I will call him out on his deceiving and lying ways. Riley will not leave me no matter what, Sarah. He's like such a loyal and dedicated co-host.
Tyson and Riley, Sam and Sierra.
Yes.
Iconic duos.
Yes. Riley and I feel the same way about each other as Sierra and Sam do.
No
Take
way.
That.
You claim to be married.
We don't bicker that much, man. Like
we don't bicker that much. No.
I hope that our partnership is better than Sam and Sierra's, because theirs is not going great.
All I'm saying is we're in love, but we also have other loves.
Yeah.
This love can never fully be.
Well, yeah, there's room for more. You know, it just grows. It doesn't take away from the previous love. That's what they say.
Yes. Love is not in limited quantities.
True. Yeah. Wow. We're so open-minded over here. Yeah. Yes. Infinite love to give and receive. We're at the immunity challenge, but we pretty much covered everything that matters in the immunity challenge. I believe. I mean, we're going to get to all of it anyways.
Wait a second, though.
Yes.
I had a thing about this immunity challenge. These blocks that they have to knock off with the sandbags, that they can get like stuck on the other blocks that you've already knocked down. This just felt kind of poorly designed to me, like a little bit unfair.
I've been in a challenge once. We were in Tocantins. They did this poll where you do this dizzy thing, and then you won sandbags that you put in the other tribe's box, and then they had to drag that box from behind a line across the field. And our box was so heavy, and we got hung up on like this tree stump thing and could not move it. For like 20 minutes, we just like yanked on it, knowing it wasn't going to budge because it was too weighed down to get over that stump no matter what. So essentially the challenge was dead, but they just ran it and just watched us struggle and not be able to pull this thing over this thing. And I was like, is there that much luck involved in these challenges where they just let that happen? Yeah. And it was like, who decided that like all of a sudden that they had to be all the way away when they're clearly off the thing? Yeah. I just thought back to this moment of Tocantins where I was like it's just luck of the draw at that point. Like the skill level of knocking those things off doesn't matter as much if the blocks just don't fall your way after you knock them off.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think even if the blocks were like at the very edge, but I think there was some space, so there was like a little bit more of like that counter. So they had to like scoot a little bit further. I don't know. I mean, that would be such a miserable moment to be like, we are so close. This is so frustrating. Like I've done the intention of the challenge.
Yeah.
And I'm still not moving forward.
But you can see this block is propped up by a bunch of other blocks behind it. It's not going to move, or it's going to take a lot to move.
And there's no skill or talent that would result in the way that the blocks fall.
Exactly. That's exactly what I thought. And it was the same with this spot in Tocantins. It was like, no matter if we had all the strength in the world, this box isn't coming over this tree stump thing. Like
in that situation, were you like in a lane where that was where you were going, or was it like this broad open field?
No, you're in a lane where you're just like in a lane.
So you had like the tree stump, but other tribes didn't?
Well, it was like mowed down grass. So it was a giant grass clump.
Okay.
So it was relatively level, but there was grass clumps that they had mowed down, but they were still giant clumps of grass. And there was only there wasn't a lot of them, And
Mhm.
I just was like, I
Did you
believe
end
they
up
should have.
losing that challenge?
Oh yeah, we couldn't finish it because the challenge stopped for us right there, and the other tribe was just like reeled their whole thing in,
Yeah.
even though we were in the lead and pulling as hard as we could. It was
Mhm.
just like all the way stuck, and even if the way that the rope and no matter what you did, even if you got a truck and pulled that thing, the box would have exploded before it came up and over that clump.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like some randomness in challenges, like when they bury something in the sand, you got to dig it up. It's like you don't know how long that's going to take, but this feels like outside the spirit of what's actually competitive and like interesting to watch too. It's like I don't know what they were supposed to do in that scenario. I guess
Yeah,
they got it eventually, but it
they
nearly
ended
cost
up,
them.
yeah, but they ended up winning just barely, just
That was
so
crazy. When
barely.
Yeah,
Saul fell over, I was like, is this
yeah,
going to be
I
the
thought he was
moment
going
that
to
they
be
lose?
hurt. I thought he was going to be hurt, and everybody was going to rush to him, and the other team was going to
Yeah,
pass him.
that would have been crazy.
Yeah,
no, Saul's a tank. He was right back up.
yeah, he just
Yeah,
rolled with the punches, so to speak. But also look where
absolutely.
you're going, and yeah, I mean, Saul's about my age, and I haven't had a fall like that yet. He backed up and tripped over something, so it wasn't like a full adult fall where you fall for no reason and are like,
Okay, you're not that old. Are you talking about like life alert falls?
not life alert falls, but just where you shouldn't be on the ground, but you are on the ground, and you're like,
Okay, got it.
I hope no one saw what just happened. Was that the first time that's ever happened to me? Where I haven't had that yet, where I'm on like, let's say I'm just like walking down the sidewalk and all of a sudden I'm looking up and there's like 15 concerned people younger than me asking if I'm okay. And I'm like,
Mm,
yeah, I don't know what happened. I haven't had that moment yet.
Okay, so like step
And,
okay.
one
and then I
towards the
just,
life alert fall.
yeah. And then I get up and I'm like, totally fine. See? And I'm just like, I just can't back up anymore. I don't know when that left me. It's just like, it doesn't exist. Like there's a time I play pickleball. Pickleball is historically more geriatric, but there are younger people that play. But I've noticed guys who get a certain age, if you lob them, if you put the ball up in the air, they can't
They can't
back up.
backpedal.
They can't backpedal.
Yep. I
I
play
don't
a
know when
lot
that
of
hits.
pickleball also.
And they can't backpedal, right?
Yeah,
Like you
I
get to a
agree.
certain age, these people get to a certain age, and it's just like not in the arsenal anymore.
Yes, but they have this like incredible precision, so it is getting them on like slightly odder moves where it's because like everyone can step forward until you're
Yeah.
pretty old.
Yeah. But not everyone can step backward. And that's at
Boom.
about 60 to 65.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe that's something to focus on. Being able
This
to
is
backpedal
why-
into your old age.
Yeah.
This is why Sue said she's 45. She wants
True.
there to be
It's
no
discussions
question
like
that she can
this.
back.
And I'd be like, Sue, backpedal for me. Let's see you backpedal without having to look back behind you. Let's see you do that. Then that would be my test.
You would know.
Exactly. Boom.
Yeah.
Not 45.
Yeah. She can't do it. Yeah. I mean, Andy sawing with the blade the wrong way.
Oh,
Love it or
man,
hate it.
man. Yeah. The George Costanza survivor.
Yeah. I love it.
Part of me, like,
yeah.
he's so silly that it almost
Yeah.
feels like he's doing it on purpose. Because there's moments in confessional where I'm like, you are with it. Like, you kind of get it. And
He was
then-
crushing it today.
Yeah.
he does
when we get
crazy
into
The
stuff.
it.
setup.
Yeah. When we get into it, he was so on fire. You think that he is purposely being a doofus at challenges?
No, I don't. But like, I want that for him because there's these
Yeah.
moments where I'm like, he's with it, but then he does crazy stuff.
Well, right after the challenge, I mean, a couple things. Rome is crying over the victory. He is overcome with joy, saying how hard Survivor is and so happy. And it's just like all, it's a lot. And the lesson to the kids at home, never give up.
I mean, I feel like Rome is production gold. He does crazy shit all the time. He cries. He yells at people. He threatens people. He thinks he's Superman. He thinks he's Ozzy with none of the skills. The whole thing is like, and then he gives a life lesson that Jeff's going to cry to. So like, he's unbelievable television.
I loved it. There was like a moment, I think, in his brain where he was like, I'm going to be kids' heroes. I'm going to be a kid's hero. Never give up, kids. Never give up. If you're watching at home, never give up. And he was just like, yes, dude, I nailed it. And then this moment from Andy, I love this too. This is also very self-aware, like Saul was earlier in the episode where he was like, I don't know what's going on. Andy was like, after 10 days out here, I can conclude that I am not good at challenges. I'm just not good at challenges. Like, I'm not. And then we get this moment that sets us up for the entirety of the rest of the episode. Is he's like, I've laid the groundwork and this is the real start of my game and I'm looking forward to tonight. And then from that moment forward, Andy was the star of the show. And it was crazy how well and how accurate he played Rachel and Annika. Like it was insane. Like to me, he was like, here's what I want to do and here's how it's going to happen. And now I'm going to do it. And then he did it. And then he came back and then it circled back. And then he was like, ta-da. And is this a master class? Like, I don't know that Andy's going to give us a full master class of Survivor, but I think that these super fans that are now playing the show, playing Survivor each season, this is what we should be getting from them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do think there was like a perfect read. As a guy who I think thinks a lot about his social position, I think really understood the comfort in the social position that Rachel and Annika had and played their confidence so well that they wouldn't question him being sad or him being worried. That like he knew the difference in like their perceptions of him and just really did absolutely nail that coming around. And I don't think we saw this play out completely. But I'm sure there was a conversation then between him and Sam where I'm sure Sam, already not liking Annika, is way more fired up to push them further in that direction. But I don't think we got to see that fully play out.
No. Yeah, I think that Andy could have gone and probably did and was like, Sam, you're the decoy name they gave me. But it was very, very, like, it just played out perfectly. Part of me was like, how much of it is Andy changing the narrative a little bit because you go and do these interviews after the fact that stuff happened so you could admit to knowing more things than you actually do. The only part that really made me question was he was like, they gave me a decoy name. It was Sam. That's who I expected.
That is how could it have been? It wouldn't have been Sierra. Because he knows that the three girls are tight.
Right.
So it has to be Sam.
Quick elimination. Sam's the only person left.
But it has to be, when you're giving a name to someone like that, it has to be the person they are most comfortable with also voting out between the options. So if you're Rachel and Annika, you have to look at Andy and be like, would he prefer Sierra or Sam? Because the one he prefers least is probably going to get told that we told him this. So I don't know. I feel like if they would have said Sierra for them, even though it probably wouldn't have made a difference, it might have been a smarter throw out because I feel like if you're looking at it, maybe Andy is tighter with Sam from the outside. I don't know. But you have to throw him, whoever is the least tight with him. But again, masterclass. Andy read it all perfectly. He was like, they don't want me to play my shot in the dark, so they have to give me a name. And then they did. And then he's like, this is how it is. And then Sierra and Sam talking about targeting Annika or voting out Andy. And again, star-crossed lovers.
They meet again.
They meet again, but not able to, they're not able to come to, like, is this good for Sierra? Is this good for Sierra?
I think in that moment, what was it that Sierra and Andy talked about? Oh, the name of the alliance. And Andy immediately tells Sam. Yes. I think in that moment, when you're Sierra, you know that in that trio, Sam is in the middle with Sierra on one side and Andy on the other. Yeah. So that is like straight up what your hierarchy is. And if you want to opt into that, you're doing it. But also, I think when you're not, probably because it's not playing out, But I don't think we know the exact hierarchy of the friendship of the three girls. If she were to think about.
I think Rachel and Annika are tighter.
Yeah.
And Sierra is probably kind of seen in the middle, and both sides are assuming that Sierra is playing the other side for their benefit. Right. And so they don't fully trust Sierra, but they are pretty sure they have her. And that's kind of my read on it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So then at least Sierra has a best friend in Sam. And then Sam protecting Andy makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just Sierra trying to figure out her spot then.
Well, and I think for Sierra's game, when you're playing the middle here, the second you decide to deviate from that middle spot and choose a side, you have to take out who's bigger, the biggest person on the other side, to really damage them. And so I don't think that Sierra voting out Andy would have been that beneficial for her. It would have just made her and Sam even more of a thing, which would have been even worse. But I think if she would have gotten rid of Sam, it would have locked her in so tight with those girls, and then they could move forward. So but Sierra, I don't know that it improved or hurt her game, but I think if she would have gotten rid of Sam, that could have definitely improved her spot.
I just don't think she could have, because we know it earlier. Without Annika's
they didn't
vote,
have the numbers to do it. But I'm saying her getting rid of Andy would have just made Sam mad, who is her current number one-ish. So I don't think it would have helped her. And the only way that going against Sam's wishes for Sierra would have been to get rid of him specifically.
If she gets rid of Andy, it just puts her in like a bad spot, because she loses Sam, and then you've also got Rachel and Annika who are closer. So she's sort of just like on the bottom of like any people that she aligns with.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I like.
How badly do you wish you could be in the room with Annika watching the Andy portion of this episode?
Oh my gosh, so badly. She's maybe already watched it. Sarah, do they, on your elimination day, do they give you an episode early and you get to?
No.
Okay, so when I was young,
just a boy.
When I was just a boy, and you used to do some press in person, they would fly you out to LA or New York, and sometimes you'd watch the episode early and do your press early on the day for it. So you'd fly out to New York, to LA, they'd put you in a room at CBS, you'd watch the episode in the morning, and then you'd go and do press.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine, with the edit that Andy has received so far, kind of being the silly
doofus.
Yeah.
The guy who saws upside down.
Yes, his one redeeming strategic moment in this perfect side-by-side edit of totally manipulating you would be so frustrating.
To me, it was like communicating with someone that you have known forever that has dementia now. And then they're just like this moment of lucidity where you're just like, wait, you're okay now? Everything. Oh my God. You've unlocked the mysteries of the universe for me. And they're like, wait, what did I just say? And I was like, do you remember? And they're like, who are you? And you're like, fuck, dude. I thought
and then they're like,
clarity.
They're like, Carter's got to get this inflation under control. And you're like,
the clarity was just so palpable. It was probably because it came, but it was because it came from Andy. There was a feeling of just oh my God, he's just so honed in on this moment. It was crazy.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, though, that's funny about this moment is the decision's been handed down to Andy. Andy is just running a side mission on this.
Yeah, it's not, I guess it's neither here nor there for him. He's just that is true. So it's not life or death. This isn't life or death for Andy.
Right.
He's fully just hoodwinking the girls just to flex in their faces.
Yes.
Is that good or bad for him to do that then? Like, what is Rachel's feelings? Like, is Rachel coming back and be like, why did you have to do that part, Andy? Like, you already could have just voted her out without also making us look dumb.
Well, I think you have to act like you're scared, though. Like, if like anyone in the game, if someone's the decoy vote, they need to play up being that role.
Yeah. Okay.
So I guess he played his part well. I'm just saying he's no mastermind. I think it was primarily a side quest.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You're minimizing Andy's work here, Sarah.
But it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
No, but I do understand. I understand where you're coming from. It didn't matter. He could have sat on the beach and pouted all day and the same outcome would have happened, and he would have had to do less work. Which then raises a point here. Tricking someone to just trick someone, you can go too far. Like, did Andy go too far here? Is Rachel going to come back and feel extra deceived by Andy, or is it not going to matter? Like, did he do the work he had to do to make people feel like he was on the bottom? Because if you're doing too much to just fool somebody, people take that very personal.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if Rachel will take it personally, because I do think she's like a game player. Like, I think she'll probably like snap back and be like locked in on the game. But I do think for a person like that has that emotional side like Andy, I think that can be a superpower and a place where you can like manipulate people and hide in that and hide how smart you are. But if you show your cards on that too early, that he like used his anxiety and like used his like, I don't know what's going on and no one likes me, and like you can only play that card so many times to trick someone before suddenly it's like you're no longer this like kind of like compellingly transparent emotional person. Now you're someone who's just being tricky like everyone else.
Right. Yeah. It is true. Like, he can use it once or twice, or he might not even be able to here soon. But I don't know how I would feel. I think I would feel betrayed if I were Rachel. I would feel extra personally slighted.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If I was like, Andy, what was the point of like making me look extra stupid? Like, I already feel stupid. You know, I was going to feel stupid. Now I feel extra stupid, and I'm going to look extra stupid on TV. So like, I don't know. I don't know if like, if that's even the perception until they watch this episode either.
Right. I think it's in the edit. Like, the cool moment was Andy going side by side with the confessional and what he was doing.
Yeah.
What he did in the game is what people do every time when they're like fake on the bottom. Yeah. And they have to go and be like, what can I do? Like, I'm on the bottom. Like, that's happens every vote.
Andy can just be like, dude, you were the ones lying to me.
Yeah.
Like,
But you were
I actually, you wrote my name down. I didn't even write yours down.
I love those moments where both parties feel like they're getting the best of each other. Like, that does make a blind side extra sweet. You spoke about edits, Sarah. I wanted to backpedal to the Gabe and Tiana conversation where Tiana's admitting what she had divulged to people, and Gabe is saying, I said and okay and
yes,
and as he cut beautiful little edit, right?
Stunning.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
I loved it.
That was also the power that Caroline had in that moment, not to be overlooked.
Yeah.
That she just goes up to Tiana and is like, I think that's your best move, is to go admit that you totally fucked over this guy.
Yeah.
And Tiana immediately is like, that's such a good point. And Caroline would view me as untrustworthy if I didn't go run and do what she said.
Yeah.
So 10 points, Caroline.
Yeah. Yeah. She did great there. Man, Tiana. I mean, it would have been easier to just pull Tiana aside at the sanctuary and be like, you got to stop with the Gabe stuff. There's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
But yeah,
especially when Sue is like making a stink face the whole
like
time.
Stink face and shaking her head like this. And even Caroline was like, what?
Yeah, I love watching Caroline's facial reactions to things.
Yeah.
Wait, but here's like, something.
Huh? Yes.
On the Blue Tribe, Caroline is constantly saying Sue's my number one. Sue's constantly saying Gabe's her number one.
Yeah.
Tiana seems to be
on the outs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious to see how that plays out.
Another love triangle. We thought it was just the Samsara Andy, but we also have the Gabe, Sue, Caroline love triangle.
Exactly.
Kyle's just there.
And Kyle's just there
Kyle's
for Sue
there,
to hate on.
But let me tell you, what I would kill to have a country boy that's just great at challenges. He's phenomenal. That there's like a strength in the way. Jeff casts a country boy that can do like the shooting, throwing end of challenges. That's just like
Why do they have to be
else.
country boys?
Well, they always are.
Yeah. I'm just sitting here, not a country boy.
Okay, Tyson, you might be like the perfect exception that has it all. He's got luscious hair, not a country boy, can throw the balls at the end of the challenge.
Thank you.
You're
and I'm also
the
an endurance
You're
athlete.
the unicorn.
Yes.
And a pickleball player that can backpedal.
That's true so far.
Yeah, and he's 6'2" and 3/4.
That's right. Thank you, Sarah.
This is becoming an advertisement.
That's all we've came here to do was that. And I think we can wrap it up there. Thank you.
The ultimate final thoughts.
Yes. Let's go to Tribal Council. There were some interesting things here. I liked the pros and cons, weighing the pros and cons of voting someone out. A person's emotional, wears their heart on the sleeve, which could be good, but it also could be bad. What are you looking for in pros and cons here when you are voting someone out? Like, what is the ultimate decider?
Man, I think in this moment, it would be thinking, like, I mean, merge you have to have on your mind, and like who would be like a strong person to go into the merge with.
Yeah.
Well, this is a side question. I have a question for you on Tribal Council.
Yeah. I mean, normally we don't do those here, but let's see what you got.
So everyone is always we're talking so pie in the sky on all of this. And I know this is the way Tribal Council's operated for years. But I'm like, let's talk in names. Like, I think Jeff should say, like, who do you feel closest to? You know what I mean? Like,
he does sometimes. He does sometimes. But the problem is that not everybody's going to tell lies. Like, the goal of Tribal Council is to skirt everything as well as you can, but still have it be an acceptable answer so that Jeff doesn't keep poking you for more information. And that's like the goal of the whole thing. And I think that even if you asked for names, you'd just get lies or like, okay, who is the we? Like, I like that. Like, I've had that.
Right.
I've had that happen before where Jeff has been like, who's the we? And then you have to be like, well, it's me, and them, and in no particular order. And he's like, oh, no particular order, huh? So who's the top dog over there? Like, you did get that, but people can still lie about that. And you just think you want Jeff to just poke for more information in these moments.
I think there's, it puts pressure on people, even if, like, let's say you and I are aligned against Riley. And I'm planning, like, I'm going to lie in Tribal Council. Yeah. But I think it still, like, creates this, like, boiling point in people's heads of, like, are they lying? Like, is this the lie that they told me they were going to say? And it's just fun to see lies play out in front of everybody in a way that we don't get to. Yeah.
A stick to the plan type situation.
Yes.
Where it's like, what's going on? We're sticking to the plan, right? Are we sticking to the plan? I like it. I think here it could have been really perfect because, like, maybe somebody would have been like, well, it's Rachel, Annika, and Andy voting for Sam. Like, somebody would have had to tell that lie to keep Andy cool. But then Sam would have been like, wait, what? I thought it was me, Sierra, Andy, voting out Annika. And they'd be like, wait, what? And then, it would create mistrust is what it would create. And I do miss those days. Yeah. I think he still does that sometimes.
I agree.
You can't do it every Tribal Council, but this would have been perfect, especially when he's like, we. I heard the word we. Who is we is what would have been perfect there. Annika's thought of individual pathways, like each decision creates a different individual pathway for everyone's game, which is essentially Survivor in a nutshell. It's like, you have to be like, what's best for Sarah? Is it also good for me? Is it also the best for her? so that I can pitch it to her as being beneficial to her, but also benefiting me. And then have Riley also, like, that's exactly Survivor. That's how you have to play Survivor to move forward. And the second that what's good for you isn't what's good for the person next to you, you have to assume that they are already contemplating coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I
So,
guess like to take that a step further, with
yes,
Annika being the one that made the analogy, where Annika might have read that incorrectly is just the read on what Sierra viewed was best for Sierra.
yes, yeah. And
Yep.
I mean, that's what you have to measure. But then you also get people playing emotionally. And that's where Survivor's so beautiful is you think, oh, okay, everybody's going to play mathematical and logical. And then they're like, oh, wait, but they mostly only find illogical people to play this game. So now all of that's out the window. So now you can't ever trust what's best for people is what they're going to do all the time. And then
when you play, how
yes.
quickly do you slot someone into your mind as like an emotional versus logical player? Like, is that one of the first things you're kind of trying to like sift out? Like, what is their decision making like lever that's most important to them?
Yeah, but it's mostly like stability. Like I need someone who's
I agree.
I need someone who's going to be stable. Like I know what I'm getting. I need to know what I'm getting and that I can trust that that's what it's going to be every time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so that's the thing that honestly I think is matters the most. It's not like, oh, she's emotional, but then maybe she plays logical the next time and I'm like, I don't know which way's up with this one. Like I have to just cut her because I can't tell. And and as a player too, you have to maintain some sort of evenness to your play so that your alliance can trust that you're going to do the thing that
Right.
you
Being
always do.
predictable enough to be
Yes.
trustworthy, but not
Yes.
too predictable to be
It's like being a
goofy.
cyclist on the road. Like to save your own life, you have to be predictable to drivers. Like you can't surprise a driver by swooping out on them or making a turn when they didn't expect you to or whatever. You have to be
Right.
predictable so that they can read what you're going to do before you do it.
Like even if you're going around a manhole to make it like the most dramatic slow
Yes.
thing.
With just like an arm out and
Stick
a
your
thing
arm
and a
out.
look back and an elbow fling and
Yep.
all of it. Yeah. And so like I think that like if you can do that to your alliance and continue to do that and that just signals to them, of course, then when you betray them, you have to be extra devious in signaling and then deviating from that plan. We get the vote out. Am I missing anything from tribal council? I mean, I like Annika laughing and being like, it's funny to say, but I'm also hopefully in the we. I think I'm in the we.
I love that moment when like Jeff has done this so many times, but to get like, I think I'm good. I think I'm good.
Yeah. Everybody there. I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, we're good. Everybody says it. I do also love that moment because even them, they realize in that moment exactly.
Right. Someone's wrong.
Someone's wrong. Andy voting for Annika. I've been burying you for the last 10 days, and here's your headstone. Clever.
Pretty good.
And then Annika fires back with, lost my vote, but would have voted for Andy. I don't trust him. Like also like pretty good. The fact that she says anything there after losing her vote is hilarious. Sam doesn't play his idol.
I thought that was an interesting thing he was weighing, where he was like, the betrayal it would be to Andy. I think also, from Sierra's perspective, is a good look at how close Sam views his relationship with Andy.
Yeah.
That, he would risk his own, not that he was at risk really, but, that he wouldn't play an idol that he has in order to make Andy feel extra good about him.
Well, Andy would have lost his mind if he didn't know about it. But I thought the play was go to Andy and tell him you're playing the idol before tribal council.
Right.
Or just be like, I have one. But
now he can do something with it. Like he still has
a fake
it,
idol.
so
Yeah.
he can hide it.
That's
He's
right.
probably got the note too.
Those idols like grew over time. Like as you went further into the box, didn't they get bigger?
Yeah.
So I think it would be a visual indication. So he could show it to someone maybe, but anyone that has seen that box knows how many days he had it good for.
But if he has the clue to it being only good for the next tribal council and hides it somewhere, and someone else finds it and he sees who finds it.
Oh, for sure. Sorry,
Yeah.
I thought you were saying he was going to keep it and like try to show
Well,
it to someone.
yeah, I mean, he could do that. Sometimes they make the idols all look different all the time too. Like you never know. You can never trust anything production gives you.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. Is it even an idol? They gave us fake ones once.
Oh,
So,
I've been there.
Yeah. How did you feel about that? Getting a production-made fake
idol. I didn't love it. It sucked. But I think that production made fake is like you're playing cards and you're staring at an ace that matches the deck, and you play an ace and they're like, wasn't an ace. So I think like I love that they're doing more creative things with the idols. I think a production made fake isn't enough.
Yeah.
But it makes great TV. So I mean, as a player, it stinks because it was like, but it's entertaining.
Yeah, that's how I thought. I was like, if I went out there and the production was like, here's this thing that's obviously production made, there would have been no doubt in my mind. And then, like you said, an ace isn't an ace all of a sudden. That sucks. We're playing ace low, not ace high. Sorry.
Ace
counts as
low.
A 1, not an 11. Yeah.
The lowest of the low.
So you think Sam not playing his idol was the best move for him?
There's part of me that thinks like tell Andy and use it to protect someone.
Yeah. Or you just protect yourself.
Like, was Sam at no, he wasn't at the immunity. Survival social hour.
Do you get that excited? Like I saw, notice how excited everyone got? Jeff just said sanctuary and everybody lost their minds. What if he was just like, it's the Charmin one where you just get toilet paper?
The what?
He did like,
Would
they
you
did
be
the
really
Charmin.
excited about that?
No, I would. No, I'd use water anyways. Water's more clean than smearing poop all over your butthole with
Americans
dry toilet paper.
Wait, but I think the reaction to Gabe having the idol, just even Gabe having played an idol, people were like, or wait, no, who has played the idol?
Yeah, Gabe.
It was Gabe.
Yeah.
Like everyone just even hearing that was like, oh my God, Gabe, that's a huge deal. So I think that like maybe lowering your threat level overall, especially if people are already thinking about him and Sierra, to just like keep the idol totally hidden and off the table and not ruin any, stress with Andy was a good idea.
Yeah, I kind of thought too. I thought if he tells Andy and then Andy is like, well, why wouldn't you play it on me? I'm the one that's kind of at risk, or I'm the one that needs a trust bone or whatever. Then also like, I thought that then you're just like adding extra layers to this thing.
Agreed.
That's going to make it way more complex. So to have the confidence to not play an idol when the only time it's good is tricky. We saw last season that didn't play out well for everybody who had an idol. Annika's reaction, pretty honest.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I loved it. I love that. Like, I think every time I've been voted out, like the second your name gets read one time and wasn't even supposed to be there to begin with, that you're like, fuck, they got me. And then in that moment, like I'm just reeling, just like, play it cool, pretend like you don't care, pretend like you don't give a shit. Don't give these people the satisfaction of knowing that it bugged you, and also let them know that you're still better than them. Even though they got the best of you in this moment. So like Annika is just like, I mean, everything she said, are you kidding me, guys? And then she just sits there. She's just like, okay.
Staring. Yeah.
Yeah, just staring at everybody.
And she was going to find out who knew. She wanted them to out themselves.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I do honestly love for her. Going back to like going to Ponderosa knowing is like some nice, that's just nice for going to sleep that night.
Some closure. Yeah.
Yeah. But like similar to you, maybe for a different reason, like I just like don't react. Like if I'm trying to figure something out that clearly everyone has known that I did not know, like I just am like frozen basically in time, like trying to be like thinking through everything that I missed.
Everything
and, like,
that you should have figured it out with.
Like my
all
mind
the pieces.
In that moment has no external reaction because there's just like way too much going on internally. So I like admire and like how quickly she was to be like, who did it? I'm upset. Whatever.
Is this a moment for her to be like, America, Sam and Sierra are actually in love. Andy, doofus, but not as much as he seems. Rachel, I love you, girl. I'm out.
Some people like that.
Yeah. I always wanted to do that, but I always am just like caught. It's crazy because
Right.
I'm normally not a guy that gets caught, but in that moment when you get voted out of Survivor, you're just like, ugh, fuck.
Right. My
Now
brain
how do I
just
react to
isn't
this?
there. Yeah. And to like have that moment of justice so quickly.
Yeah.
It's like, it's amazing when someone can do it, but I cannot.
I'm the long game where I'm just like, look at how big my house is now. Everyone on Winners at War.
Boom. Yeah. You get to play pickleball every day.
Exactly. So, it's all about the long game for me. And it's like everybody who's ever betrayed me in life, just like 15, 20 years down the road, can't get their kids into college and they don't understand because they were valedictorian and everything. And they're just like, what happened? And then they never even have to know that I laid all the groundwork real early. Last thing, Annika's closing words. I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty devastated. The worst part is they played me before I played them. That's the whole dagger to the heart of Survivor.
Game.
That is the game. And it is the part that really, really sucks is knowing that Andy, of all people, got the best of you.
On a side quest.
Yes, on a side quest that didn't even matter.
No, I admired her closing words. I think that's like a phenomenal lesson. I also love the honesty. Like, I think everyone that get voted out wants to like very honestly cry. And I love that she did. But yeah, I think it's tough.
I didn't want to cry. I just wanted to punch some faces of the most punchable faces.
That would.
But I'm not even a puncher. I'm not even a puncher. But it's just like just to like pop. Like I'm not a violent person whatsoever. But in that moment, it's more rage than devastation.
Right. Okay. Yeah. For me, I'm like eternally hopeful in a horrible way. So I'm walking out and I'm like, give me that island.
Tsunami.
Like,
I hope a tsunami hits.
Well, that too. I actually did. It rained the night I got voted out, and I was like, good.
Yeah.
But no, I'm thinking of like send me to like Redemption Island. Like that hasn't happened in years, but I was like, this could be the moment. It's not over.
Here we go.
Too hopeful as always, and it was absolutely
come out looking
fake.
Around like, where's the boat? Where's the boat?
Yeah. But no, she was awesome. I think it's so true that you gotta get before you get got.
That's right. And when you get got before you get, that sucks.
The worst.
Riley, what are our predictions? What do we have?
Okay, next week they're dropping their buffs. I think it's the merge.
It's the merge.
Seems like
I think it's the merge. It's got to be.
It's the merge. Mm-hmm. Is it? So here's the first question.
Yeah.
Is it going to be an actual merge, or is this the earn the merge that we've come to expect in the new era?
I think it's earn the merge.
So
it'll be half merged.
Yeah.
I'm optimistic that it's just a full real merge.
We
had the
Let's
new
go.
Survivor Social Hour, which was a fun new thing. And I'm ready for some more fresh, exciting. Well, how many people are we at? It's all based on the numbers.
13.
13, 3, 10. So it doesn't work. It's going to be a earn the merge.
Yeah. Because they'll have the one sits out and gets to pick one side or the other.
Do the hourglass thing again.
Well, and if they merge at 13, then that's 10 voting, which could be a tie.
Yeah.
But then the third person can break it. So technically it could work.
It could work. It could still be a merge if they all do individual reward.
Right.
Or if they do individual challenge, but they usually haven't. They've usually split them into teams at the challenges. So it seems like a big ask for it to not be an earn the merge. I think it's an earn the merge because every time Jeff introduces it, he's like, you got to earn your spot. It's not easy like it was in the olden days where you just get to the merge after 32 days and you're there.
Yeah, Tyson, you've never earned the merge.
I've never earned the merge. I've never earned the merge.
Just coasted to the merge.
Just coasted the first 27 days to the merge.
Okay, wait. So So prediction, earn the merge.
Earn the merge. I think
we
it's
predict earn the merge.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So that makes it impossible to predict like who's going to be immune or not, unless we want to sit here and predict a rock draw. And I
Yeah,
don't
that's
think we
crazy.
want to do that.
No.
Like an
But so
activity of permutations.
let's see where our winner picks are at after this episode.
Man, winner picks.
I've been changing my winner pick like almost every episode this season,
Yeah.
which I don't normally do. I just feel like I don't have a good handle on who should be favored.
I would be very impressed if Genevieve was able to drive this thing to the end.
I think she's burning too hot, too quick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Which it would be very impressive if she was able to do that. But I think she is burning too hot, too quick. I feel like Rachel is going to be even keel and level headed enough to find her bearings and get to the merge and create something there. Yeah, I feel good with Rachel. I think I'm going to say Rachel.
Okay.
And remind me, Riley, to keep sticking with Rachel until she is
out. You want to pick and stick. Okay.
Yeah. I keep trying to, but then I forget who I said the week before.
I kind of like that, though. It's more honest. It's more just based on vibes in the moment instead of, I picked this person before, so I'll stick.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pure.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sarah, who you got?
Okay. I'm going to go with Caroline.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't hate that either. Yeah.
I think that Caroline, the control she had over Tiana, the way she's been able to like stay tight with everyone on her tribe, she's gone on 2 different cross-pollination things. I think she'll have good relationships with people. And I'm optimistic that her ability to like control and manipulate her tribe to a certain extent will extend to the other tribes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's kick-ass at challenges.
Her and Rachel will come together, and then one of us will be right.
Those 2, I think their minds sync.
Yeah. Who you got, Riley?
Man, I don't know. Nobody stands out to me is the problem.
Wow, shots fired.
Okay, low
boring
blow.
tribe.
Just a bunch of mediocrity. No. It's just like
what about
like
Rome?
It's not Rome. It's not gonna be Rome. At least that's not who I'm picking.
Okay.
How
wild would it be if it was Rome? If he gets all the way to the end and has,
I don't know. I feel like he's too. So I saw somebody on Twitter or something compare him a bit to Tony. Like it's like, he could be that kind of winner, where it's like it's all this chaos. Like people didn't think Tony was going to win Cagayan.
Yeah.
The problem is that Tony was dripping with charisma, and Rome, I think, is like.
And Tony got the super idol
like that. Well, yeah, that too. Yes, if they introduce a super idol and Rome gets it.
Yeah. I mean, he's looking for advantages.
If they introduce a super idol, Rome is the one that will get it.
But I mean, to win the votes at the end, to win the votes at the end, I can't imagine Rome sitting next to 2 people and the jury being like, well, we just love Rome. Like, he's the best. I want to give him $1 million. I think he's too abrasive, basically. Yeah. He's too big of a personality. There will be enough, like some people will like him, but I think that there will be enough people that are kind of like, I will take Sierra because I think that she has a good bond with Sam. Seems to have him wrapped around her finger a little bit, and I think that she's also somewhat of a free agent going into the merge too.
Okay, what else we got? Anything else?
Let's do who's going home next week, and then we can wrap it up.
Who's going home? Man, this is hard. I think it's going to be someone who feels like they have some power, but really ultimately don't. I bet it's going to be Tiana. I bet what's going to happen, everybody's going to come together. Blue's going to want to get rid of Tiana. Everyone else is going to want to get rid of Blue, and it's going to work. And Tiana's going.
Sarah, give us your pick on the move.
I think next out, I'm thinking Gabe.
Ooh.
Okay.
The seed has been sowed by Tiana. and he can't get through it, which sets up for a beautiful comeback story for Caroline and Sue, that they
Okay.
make it through even though they lose him.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. So you did the 1-2 punch with your winner choice, and then who's next out to set
Oh,
up
it's a
your
full
winner
story.
choice?
It
Yeah.
all pieces
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
Okay. Riley, who you got?
I'm going to take Gabe as well. I think that if Blue goes in with the numbers, other people will look for someone to target. And Sarah said it. The seed has been sown.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't hate it. Someone from Blue probably going because they said too much at the sanctuary. Thank you all for tuning in. Riley and I did our season 50 draft of what we wanted to see. You can check that out now on the Pod Has Spoken channels everywhere. You can see us on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify or anywhere else that you choose to listen to us. We'll be there. Sarah, thank you so much. Such a joy and pleasure. I met you very briefly once over like a FaceTime, and
Yes.
this was better.
Well, I absolutely enjoyed it. As you know, you were my Celebrity Island request guest. So it's
Maybe
been a
one day,
pleasure.
season 50, make the request again.
50. They don't know what's coming.
They don't. Okay, Riley, thank you as well. Thanks, Ashleigh, always in the background working her magic. Until next week, see ya.